big slogan of ours is, what does it look like to make history for our club?
The belief is there. Go and try and get these points and hopefully make a playoff run.
And that was it. The first half of the NWSL comes to a close, per se. It was an interesting first half of the season, ups and downs, mostly a lot of ups in the beginning, and it was a bumpy May. I feel like everyone was glad that May is over if you're a Houston Dash fan. And they didn't come with a clean end to the first half as well. So we'll talk more into that on this episode with the Orange and Blueprints. I'm here with the Bayou City Soccer. I'm your host, Manny Olivares, and right here we got Mr. 26 over here, Diego Ramirez.
Ramirez, no.
I was thinking of Pitbull, Mr. 305, but I was like, nah.
Mr. 305, Mr. Worldwide, darling. How we doing, family? My name is Pitbull.
Nah, you're not 305. You're
26, Mr. 305. I'm here with Manny Olivares. Yeah, darling.
No, I was gonna say I'm here with Fernando Mendoza, but I'm good.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I'm wearing this shirt because I want to first and foremost congratulate Manny for a very special achievement, as he will not just be representing Bayou City Soccer. He won't just be representing Houston. He won't just be representing the very own Orange and Blueprints podcast that we've got going on weekly that you guys you all love very dearly, but he will be representing everybody from the Dynamo Dash family from the media side, and we'll be covering the FIFA World Cup here in Houston. Manny, congratulations. I know that it might be really hard for you to say my name right, but I'm glad that your journalism skills are really up to par. So a huge congratulations to Manny. Extremely proud of you. We're all from BCS rooting for you, and also everyone looking forward to see your spin on things.
You know what's funny? Like, your name is on the intro, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah. Your face is like you just realized it too. Diego just realized it too. He's like, you know what? It's true.
Oh my gosh! I gave it a speech.
Look, bro. Diego didn't even click at that. He was like, wait, it is. Let's running back the intro. I'm checking.
First and foremost, with all of that out of the way, Manny, how are you?
Good. Pretty much good. Just taking it one day at a time. I think it's like just for everyone. I know it's mostly a Houston Dash fan and NWSL fan, but I think, as we talk about a little bit more of the summer break, I think it's like I think sadly it's like the vibe of the World Cup hasn't hit yet. And of course, we got the merchandise, the cup, the posters, the shirts, and everything, the pins, and the Panini books. But I think it doesn't hit us yet until next week. Because I feel like Houston never stopped. It's still working. Every one of us is still working. So, I think until we see the multitude of people and all the crowds and everything, I think it's gonna hit us by then. But right now, we're just taking it one day at a time, man.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, but as you know, taking it one day at a time, that's what Fabrizio always talks about his games. We'll take it one game at a time. And sadly, this weekend was the last game of the first half of the season. It's been a rocky season for the Houston Dash. It's just been up and down. And so it's like now that we have the final game for this weekend was the pre-ultimate game for the match week as well. So let's get into that real quick. It was an early matchup, a matinee matchup, as the young people like to say. So it was kickoff was at 2 at the Sports Illustrated field, and it was pretty much. I think it was pretty much even in the first half until the first goal came in with, of course, your boy Diego predicted that Jordan Dudley was a huge player to watch out for, and she did. She came out. She broke Lisa Boateng's ankles in the penalty box, got through Paige Nielsen, and got it over Jane Campbell to get that one nil win. And pretty much that was pretty much the game because the Dash didn't really have anything to come for. I think of course, you have players like Chris Larissi, Amina Echich, Sophie Schmidt, Kate Harden, and Alicia Chapman trying to get into the game to spice things up, especially after halftime. Yes, Fabrice made those four changes all in the 60th minute, and but pretty much nothing really changed. I feel like Gotham was even more in possession after those changes. I feel like it helped Gotham more in that game, and really didn't much help for the Houston Dash. So the Houston Dash lost with a scoreline of 1-0 in the game. So I just want to get off for you with also Diego as the uh, part-time reporter for the Gotham as well. Uh, what did you thought of the performance from the Houston Knights against this strong Gotham side?
Yeah, I think you mentioned it perfectly. Jordan Dudley, the goal scorer. I think the ability that was displayed not just on that goal, but in general from the front three was honestly quite impressive. I mean, this is one of the games where you really see Gotham click. I had the question before the game and during our show of Gotham were really a team where you saw throughout the season where there were just moments where there wasn't anything going or clicking offensively, and there were moments like the Bay FC game where they did click, and you saw 4 goals come out of that result. And I think you definitely saw a result where the front three clicked, and it's really really hard to go up against that if you're Houston, a team that's growing, a team that's learning. Um, I am honestly a little impressed that it was just 1-0. It was a gritty game. That's
Mhm.
kind of like what you expect when it comes to the Gotham FC Houston games, especially throughout the recent history of that matchup. But I think especially nailing down the fact that I think Fabrice is still like really making these good ideas known with Kate Harden really being used as like an energy substitution. I think those were great decisions. Maybe wasn't absolutely pleased with like players such as an Alicia Chapman that I felt like wasn't all the way there during the game. I felt like she was given the ball in a lot of situations, especially later in the game, and just passes couldn't connect, and just things were just not clicking. I think still a highlight to players like Leia Klinke. I think to go in and out of those situations, I think it's extremely important. The obviously the hope was to get like a Kate Fosse goal, especially because she scored in that San Diego game, and the hope was definitely you get your first goal, you're ready, you now kind of get it, and we haven't really seen that. Cat Raider, also unbelievable player as of late. Didn't really capitalize in this game, but it just comes to show you're playing against in my humble opinion, the best defense in the NWSL. They've only conceded 5 goals throughout this span of games. Halfway through the season, and they've only conceded 5 games. I think that's absurd, and I think when you're up against that kind of team, I mean, a loss. I don't think a loss should ever be expected, but I think a loss should definitely be taken with a grain of salt because it's understanding like, hey, we picked up great results, and we need to keep moving forward. If you're the Houston Dash, that needs to be the mentality. And if you're a Dash fan, or if you're covering the Dash, or if you're looking at the Dash from a league-wide perspective, you're kind of looking at the bigger picture and asking yourself, okay, we've now seen the stretch halfway through the season, and let's compare it to last year. And I'm going to bounce this to you. We obviously remember the dashes stretch under Fabrice's first half of his first year, being, to be quite honest, extremely pessimistic. Um, do you see the dash be a little more uplifting this season at this point, or do you see kind of a little bit of the same from this quote unquote new look dash?
I think it's kind of hard. I think you're comparing to apples to oranges at this point because both teams relatively right now, I think relatively we're in the same position at the halfway point. I think relatively they were relatively in about below the playoff line. You know, both teams were, but I feel like uh, last season was that I think because with the introduction of the Concacaf W Champions Cup in the middle of the NWSL, the top teams were kind of like in between, not hot, not there. So the Dash was benefiting from that, more draws than anything, and so but I think it's I think the main difference, of course, last year's team was very very much poorly constructed in this team. I would say relatively it is as well, but I think the ups is because you rely on more on rookies, so rookies are learning as they come along, and some are producing, some are doing really well, but I feel like the team is not well strength enough to support the rookies. When the rookies are not doing well, there's no one else to be like, let me take the pressure off of you, let me carry the rest of the team. The results, there's basically no one after the rookies, that offered that little change of pace or something effective on the pitch. So it's like the rookies were all in on the rookie, so it's either do or die. And so at the point it's like you feel more optimism because you see I think the player pool, and you're like, okay, you have Kate Fosse, you have a Kate Raider, you have a as well. Linda Olmark, they're doing well. Of course, Leah Klinke, I think the better of the rookies, just because I think as a defender, she has shown more that she is more versatile. And I think it's hard to say. I think it's hard to say this, but sort of the cornerstone of the team. I feel like she is. If she's not in the lineup, I think I'm having question marks. Like, okay, not because I think just because what she offers is completely different. And so you kind of on jump on that the hype train of these rookies. Like, okay, maybe they're not performing. We're not expecting them to be like maybe like a Alyssa Thompson or a Trinity Rodman at the rookie season to carry this team. But I think you're just hoping like maybe if they continue growing, what else they can do in the future. So I think that's a good positive, despite the results, especially in the May, because I knew May was going to be a hard month, and it happened to be the hard month. And so we're just trying to see, okay, from there, from this month break, can they regroup? Can they, convene again and see what else they can do from here? But also, I think as well, injuries didn't play a good part. I think Dash had more injuries this season, to
Mhm.
crucial players than last season, and so that's pretty much as well the other that. But am I wrong thinking that way, or is this like hard to compare from last year to this year?
I feel like you make great points. I think in general this team looks just more positive.
Yeah,
You look at last year and you see the kind of Houston really be hopeless, and now you kind of see at least some level of competency in most of their games. I don't really think there's been a game. Probably maybe Utah might be the exception to that. Where you really saw this team kind of just be out of their element almost completely. I know Kansas City was also a thrashing, but at
but
least the game felt a lot more competitive than it looked in the scoreline.
I feel like Utah's different. I feel like Utah, it's uh,
Utah
uh,
was
it's,
on the
it's underdog. I think right now they're just showing what they've been working on since last year.
Yeah, I think right now I look to this dash side with optimism for compared to last year. I think you see a clear path of improvement. You see situations where you can really be like, hey, this team could do something. Obviously, like that May stretch was really rough if you're the Houston Dash. I think um, you're gonna still see players adjust, move, get better, just like trying to really cement things. But when you see players like Lisa Boateng, kind of, to be quite frank, be incredible. Use I don't know about you, but these past 3 games from Boateng have been phenomenal.
Mhm.
And then players like Harden. Harden was a trialist. And now she's starting. I think that's unbelievable if you're the Houston Dash and getting these types of players. I think Harden, Boateng, obviously 2 defenders. Maybe Harden was played more as a midfielder this time around, but more on the defensive side of things. And I think Maggie has been incredible. I think Maggie is a kind of a quiet but important presence in this team. Um, yeah, but I don't know about rebuilding every year because like think of like the past like 5 years of Houston Dash soccer. I don't think I've ever really seen a plan in place to actually do something.
I think the only one was the Juan Carlos Amaros era.
Yeah,
I just because he had a vision and he had a system and he had something to structure. He did his best with the team. I think the only problem is that he wasn't here like more than half a season. So
yeah,
it was like if he was had more, and not saying that we could have been the Gotham right now, but I feel like he knows what he's looking for, and he has the experience, he has the technicality. Maybe not like the top managers, but I feel like he is at the moment one of the top.
yeah. And I feel personally that Fabrice has kind of displayed signs of that. I mean, there's something in place. You saw
Yeah,
the San Diego game. You saw I kind of don't like the word rebuild in this season because you saw the rough stretch in May. And then you saw the San Diego game and you looked at yourself and you as a Dash fan or a Dash fan watching is looking at this game and thinking, oh, it's over. And then you get a result out of that. Granted, it probably should have been a win, to be
yeah,
completely honest, but you get a result there. Then you look at Angel City, a team that beat you, and you do get a 3-point result out of that.
yeah,
And then you play against Gotham FC, lose 1-0, but put in what I would label a respectable performance, something that you can still build towards. I think the Dash team of last year would not have gotten these past 3 results, to be quite honest. And I think this is, I think, what separates the first half from this year and last year. An ability to really kind of finish this off a solid start and then give it everything in the second half. Obviously, this will be nothing if they don't get off to that fire start in the second half of the season and don't get results.
yeah.
But the very fact that there's a possibility there, I think trumps what happened last year, where I thought, along with many others, that this experiment and this project was also a waste. Because last year, around this time, Maggie Graham went down with the ACL injury, and you have those issues, and then you bring in Laracy a little later. That was around what,
I think
July?
I think I think Maggie Graham just missed. Yeah, I think missed like August. I think August because we had another international break. I
You're
think
right. Did she
yeah,
play
she
Monterrey?
she played. I think she played in. Well, I don't think none of our starters played in July. I think it was mostly subs. But yeah,
I
but I
know
think
Avery played in Monterrey because she got a goal,
yeah,
but
yeah,
like that rough timeline of like you see the first half being so terrible and then the second half just be a constant grind. I don't know about you, but I feel a lot more peace in this season of like at
Yeah,
least confidence going into this of like possibly we can see the Dash squeeze in results.
yeah, I think so too. I think it's just been like I think it's just been yeah, she was right. Yeah, August, and August is when she got injured. Yeah, so she was there for a little bit in July, but I think it's just been more of that. I think it's just Fabrice has been a little bit getting better at adjusting to his. I think he has an idea, goal, idea, way of build, but like I said, I think due to injuries and maybe players not playing up to the standards that he had, like people on the bench, like maybe Messiah Bright or a Clarissa Larissa. Clarissa Larissa has improved a little bit, but not as what he wants her to be as a full on strike starter. So he had to make tactical changes. He had to make personnel changes. He had to make things that will help the team, and he has actually helped that with his last 3 games. Maybe as not what he wants, but it's just that. Now, I think uh, with that in mind, we come to the break, and I know last episode we talked about okay, the rookies at this point. I know the rookies has played the majority of the starting in this starting 11. Which of the rookies that you will believe justify their starting positions? It's kind of hard to say that. It's kind of hard to say that because I feel like I'll let you answer, and I'll let my answer.
I feel like it's hard because you're asking also the question of who deserves to start over them. And I don't think that's a very deep, long list. I don't think that's a deep, long list. I think we definitely need to see Leah Klenke. Leah Klenke needs to start. I think what she's done defensively is kind of um Cat Raider needs to start. I think that's two that needs to start. Um then Fossey and Olmark. I need to see a little more from Linda Olmark.
I feel like go ahead.
If you're bringing in Olmark as an attacker, I want to see a little more from that. I I think she's going to have a Kate Fossey moment, and I think I'll talk about this when I talk about Kate Fossey, but I think understanding right now Olmark is I feel like struggling to get into that mental state of like getting the goals and then it'll flow in. I think we just need that breakthrough for a moment, and then I think it'll be okay. And then Kate Fossey just got her first, and I think we'll see much better performances from her moving forward because you could tell she was just frustrated game in and game out of just not getting a result from her chances. I think 100% justifiably starting is Leah Klenke and Raider. I think they too are impressive. I think they're among the best rookies in the league, and also really some of the best players. Especially I would label Raider on that front. Not considerably top because obviously there's like the Trinity Rodmans, the Avery Pattersons, but in terms of how much experience he truly has in the pro level, it's impressive. And I think the two that um, really need to put in just a smidge more on the results end of things is Olmark and Fossey. But this is not me saying they are a step below. This is just rather me saying I think it'll come in due time. I don't think it's an issue. I just need to see it personally. Fossey, I think is going to be fine. Linda, I think she'll also be fine. They're extremely talented on their own, and they work extremely hard. And then Kate Harden, 100%, I think, is a starter. I think she's a starter. I don't know about you, but I think um, she is the perfect replacement to a Paige Nielsen. When Paige ends up doing her own thing, whether that be after this season, after 2 seasons, after 4 seasons, I have no idea. I think Kay Harden is the perfect player to really fill in those shoes.
Mhm. I think I agree with most of your sentiment. I feel like Kate Harden is a good replacement year for Sarah Putigam or a Danny Colaprico.
Okay, so more midfield
Look,
role, you're really seeing her.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
You're seeing more of her in like the midfield.
Yeah, at the moment, just because that's where Fabrice kind of likes to play her at the moment. She likes to be in the midfield and drop back a little bit. But I feel like she can. I think if you're talking about Kate Harden in the long term, I think that will be her ideal position in this side. But I feel like for me, Leah Kinky should be rookie of the year, in my opinion. I think that's just the way the team involves around her, because I feel like Lisa Boateng may not have a good impact in the team if we didn't have a defender like Leah Kinky who can play in the
Mhm.
full back and the center back, and as well, also having a pacey center back just like Paige to help her as well. So the system will not work if she hasn't had that ability as well, and so I feel like that would. I feel like K Radar is really well as well. She has moments that she is extraordinarily well, and she had moments that she, goes through the game. The game just goes through her. It's not a bad thing. It's just players can always do that. I think for me, the one that's hard, like I would say for you, is it's Linda Olmark and KFAS. Just for not for, I think for different reasons. I feel like Kay Fosse, the ball doesn't go to her as well as much as she wants, and when it does, it's not maybe the position that she wants it at, and that's really maybe just not as a forward that she want. She's not ready to receive the ball, and the ball gets lost, and sometimes it's not. She doesn't make the right runs. Linda Olmark, I feel like maybe her age. I think it's just because of her age. She's the youngest of the rookie, one of the youngest of the rookies, with 20 years old. So I feel like she is. I feel like she gets exhausted too much in the games. I feel like we're not even at halftime and she's out of gas. And I feel like uh, I think we just need someone in her position. Maybe we see more Etchich or someone else that
I
can.
I think Ekic has really shown a lot of promise. I have a question though.
Go ahead.
She's being played in that Maggie role attacking mid, but
No,
also attacker. I know that those positions kind of play hand in hand, but from your perspective, do you see her kind of being a good complement to an Olmark where they can be interchangeable? Or do you see her complimenting Maggie and kind of filling in there?
I,
Because
I think it's more. I think it's more of Maggie's. Maggie. I feel like same thing. I feel like she does better inside the pocket, inside the midfielder, and when she can go out to the wing. But I feel like we need someone to replace, not replace, who maybe has more experience in the professional league over Linda Omar, just because Linda's great. I feel like she's gonna have a stellar career, but I think right now, I think the game is too fast or too hard, too much for her, and I feel like sometimes there's moments that she is, and the game just like is too much for her, and she's all those sparks and brilliance just like die out at crucial moments near the end of halftime or the middle of second half when you need something to push. And I feel like I think that's something maybe it's just here and now. I feel like she's great to start. I feel like when she's on the game she's great, but I feel like to start every game week in and week out, week in and week out, I think it's happened to be a little too much for her at this point in her career. But I feel like she's gonna have a great stellar career. I think you just give her time. You know,
I I would actually, because I kind of slightly disagree. I think seeing Ekich as maybe a potential starter in place of Olmark, that would both give, I think, Linda a great opportunity to really grow into the game.
hmm
Um, Because another player that I've just seen show a little signs of exhaustion is Fossey.
Yeah,
I think this is just normal for rookies. Even Cat Raider
yeah,
and Linky have shown signs of exhaustion. I think this is just any player adjusting to the best league in the world. I
yeah,
just think seeing Ekic get a bigger role and really complimenting Linda Olmark's role as kind of that wing, supporting maybe even a second striker at times when the game kind of really develops. I think that would be a really interesting choice because she's great at moving the ball.
yeah,
She's good at that kind of Maggie role, but playing that kind of supporting role will, I think, just give an extra layer of threat, but also a depth, eh, to Fossey and also to Raider. I
yeah,
think have that front three of Fossey, Raider, and then Ekic. I think that would be an interesting experiment. I think I'm not gonna tell Fabrice how to do his job,
you can,
because
bro. You can. You got this.
no, I'm not gonna do that. But at the end of the day, I think it's an interesting thing to like at least think through because I think um, we've seen Ekic get really late minutes, and I think um, maybe we can try seeing that the dash really switch that up. I don't know, but that's something that I would think because I don't think that a player like Maggie should be looked at as like a replacement. I think we should look to see Maggie play all 90 minutes at
Yeah,
this point.
yeah,
And so that leaves Ekic on the bench. And I
yeah,
think Ekic is a talented player. I think Ekic was at least the player of the season for a reason that kind of rhymes. But at the end of the day, I think an opportunity for her to start, I think would be great. And I think um, obviously you've got kind of a gauntlet coming up. Um, I'm gonna go through the next 5 games, Manny. Um, and um, if you want to just like play some predictions there, firstly, a really tough one, July 3 away at where now we know the NWSL is going to host their final, Audi Field, against the Washington Spirit. So Washington Spirit, then an away game
easy.
at Denver, and then Racing Louisville and Bay FC at home. So you have 3 back-to-back-to-back away games and a home game for that's the 4, and then fifth is another home game against the team they had just lost to, Gotham. Give me a quick breakthrough of how those games go.
Um, Winnable game on Washington. I will say 1-0. Denver, I will say I'll be a draw. Racing Louisville, I feel like we always draw at their side. I say another draw. And then Bay FC, I feel like it's gonna be a win for the Dash. And Saturday, and the Gotham will be another win. Reason why, because Gotham's, I feel like it's always, I don't know why. I feel like we always get a draw or a win when we don't expect it from Gotham. So pretty much reason why I say a win for Washington Spirit, it's just because Washington's has a lot of call ups for the national break. Has a lot of call ups. So no, I don't believe none of their players will gain any rest or any. So I feel like they might be in peak form, but I feel like they'll be more exhausted. So I feel like that's why I feel like that was it. While the Dash only has what Jane Campbell. Well, Jane Campbell got called up due to people getting injured, but yeah, and then Avi Patterson, of course, and then the rookies. But that's pretty much it. And of course, we gotta think as well. Kiki should be back in time for the
Oh my gosh, seeing Kiki back makes my life so happy.
yeah. So I see that, but we don't. Well, the transfer window doesn't open until the 14th of July. So so it'll be after those 2 games if the Dash has all the paperwork in it for their transfer. So we if anyone that gets signed, we won't see them until the August. So basically with the squad you have as a squad you have until reinforcement comes in August if the dash sign early. So that's pretty much it. Yeah. So that's what we got. I feel like that's my prediction. What about you?
I think I'm going to be bold. I'm going to see a win in Washington. I think Fabrice will really get them going and get a result, especially from what happened last year at Audi Field. I think Denver, I low key think that was kind of a fluke game. I just think the Dash kind of got caught off footed, and I think that just led to the game that ended up being the game. I think it'll be a 1-1 draw. I think we're going to lose against Louisville. I think Louisville just was so annoying to play against, and I see that continuing. I know my friend over at Florida Lee from covering all things racing Louisville. I will probably be back talking to him because it was great to catch up with him for the first game. I know he'll be happy with this prediction, but I think, yeah, that'll be a loss. And then Bay FC, I see really, even though Jordan Silkowitz is the best goalkeeper in the NWSL, I see a lot of goals go past her. And I think the Dash are going to comfortably win that game. And then Gotham, I'm not going to comment on that one because that's I think that's always going to be a feisty game, and I think I want to see more of what this Dash team offers before I make that call.
Hmm. Yeah, I think it's just gonna be just. Uh, I think we just had to see how it rolls. I think it's most importantly how the team is and everything. But I feel like the first game has to be a winnable game. If you want to get back on the make a little impact on the game, on the league, on this table, you want to have to win that game. So that's pretty much that's how it goes. We'll see. We'll know. It's a long summer. It's a long summer, so we'll see how things turn out, how players come back, and see how it goes from there. And before we wrap it up, I know you mentioned about the NWSL final championship game is going to be at Rowdy Audi Field. So it's going to be interesting over there. How that again, once again, Houston will not host the final. Shocker. I'm joking. I'm
Hey,
sorry.
hey, no, hey, Houston's not going to host the final, but they're going to be in the final. That's
Meh.
it.
Meh. Uh, and then it's just really interesting on that. But I think it's just we'll see. I think everything is gonna be at DC. I feel like everything's at DC. Um, and then we have the call ups. We got K Radar, Lena Allmark, and Leah Klinky for the youth U.S. women's national team. Jane got called up because Tyler's Joyce uh, was unavailable to the injury, so Jane got called up for that as well. Avery Patterson got called up as usual, and then of course Amina Echich got called up for Boston Herzegovina for the international window. So it's a lot of call up. Not well. I'd say it's a good amount. Not the whole team. So it's pretty much good call ups for especially for the ones trying to compete for the World Cup qualifications. So that's pretty much it on that front. I know it's a lot. I know talking about summertime, there's a lot of events that the Houston Dash are doing, like the Dash House. It's right across. If you like to tailgate, well, if you like to come early in the same, Texas tailgate, it's right around the corner from there. So if you like to go up, it's going to be the event opening night on June 11th with free giveaways for the first people going in. I know Diego's going to be there. I know
I
he'll be
will
in line.
absolutely be there. I
He's
was
going to be in line.
actually texting a friend of mine to go to Dash House. Go to Dash House. It'll be so much fun to
It's going to
hype
be.
up Houston soccer, but not just Houston soccer, Dash soccer. Come hang out, come vibe, Dash House 2026. It'll be exciting. It'll be fun. It'll be a great time. Manny Olivares will also be there. Um, yeah, he will. He will be there. He will be there. But yeah, you guys,
I'll
you
be at
all.
Diego's house. Oh,
Nah, but y'all should totally come by, and if y'all see me, say hi.
Say hi. I know it's gonna be. I think it's good events for the Houston Dash and the Houston Dynamo doing for this World Cup. It's gonna be a lot of activities, a lot of things to do. It's gonna be very very interesting how the sea either I don't know how to say it either grows in the best or worst ways with all this commotion, you know. But one thing's for sure, I think with Houston Dynamo, Houston Dash should take advantage of this opportunity because this is where you gain new fans and you live up the hype from the World Cup. So you would never know. So hopefully, the next Dash game might be a sellout because of the World Cup fight hype. No, but we'll see. It's very interesting how it goes. But at the meantime, it's gonna be a lull time, so no real Dash news or games until June. Help me out here, Diego. June. I don't know. It's somewhere in June. It's so far ahead. It feels like it's June 3rd. Oh wait, June 3rd.
July 3rd.
July 3rd. I know July 3rd. I'm looking at July 3rd. 4th of July weekend. Oh,
Hmm.
so yeah, so it's gonna be a long time from until we hear from there. So, we know it's gonna be interesting. We want to see how things turn up. We'll see how the Dash move forward with a lot of things, with all these news. So, boys, from here on out, we'll take as well a break as well from the podcast because I know if you haven't seen the Bayou City Soccer as well, it's gonna have really focus on the World Cup. We're gonna have also a lot of podcasts on this Wednesday night as well, recapping the World Cup and what to look for in Houston as well. So looking forward for that. I know you're gonna miss us. Not really. I'm just
All right, all
uh,
right.
but we'll be back once the Houston Dash are coming back in, and maybe that July 1st we'll see what news, what happened, and also preview for the game for against Washington and see how it goes from there. Any before we head out, Diego, you got anything you want to say to the fans over here?
Keep supporting a Dash. Keep coming to Dash House, and hold it down. I guess. Happy.
Hold, hold it down.
Hold it down, H Town.
Also, hold down the standings. We gotta go all the way down. I'm joking. No,
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I did
I'm
not say that.
joking. Nah, I was messing with you. I know. It's we'll see how it goes from there, but we'd like to thank as well for everyone that tuning in. Also look out for us at biocitysoccer.net, and also on our social media, BioCity Soccer on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, the Blue Skies, Threads, and everywhere else you get your social media platform at. Also, like thank you for Ugly Guppy, We Got Soccer, and Liz Bravos for sponsoring us and keeping things going. I know it's gonna be a while. The Houston Dash fans, it's gonna be a while. So, but take the opportunity to watch Dash players playing for international for this weekend. I know it's mostly Jane Campbell and Avery Patterson, and hopefully by before you know it, the World Cup's here. Everyone's gonna get lost in the sauce, and
Yeah.
before you know it, the Dash will be back. So
Before,
from
before we log off, who's winning the World Cup, Manny?
I really had no predictions on it to be honest,
The,
because
the,
I feel like every team, huh?
the credentialed reporter over here.
I feel like I feel like
Oh my gosh.
it's hard to predict. I think because not every team is stacked. If you agree, can you agree?
Man.
Can you, can you agree? Like not every team is stacked.
No, absolutely not. Not every team.
There's no. I feel like last World Cup there were stacked teams. There was teams like okay, like the Spains were stacked, the France were stacked, the Germany was stacked, even though they didn't go far. But you know they were like okay, or Belgium was the last
Yeah.
hoorah of the golden generation. You know I feel like this World Cup I feel like teams are lopsided. Either they're too much forwards, not enough defense, or the key players are injured, and so you have your supplement squads coming up, trying to make a name for themselves. So it's like it's gonna be a hard. I feel like with also a lot of teams coming in, I feel like the group stages is gonna be a huge mirage, and we don't know how the teams are until the rounds 32s. And
Fair point.
I think it's very hard. It's very hard to I think until we see this World Cup play through, then I can predictly do well because it's just very because you're facing the first match. Okay, like the first match, Germany faces Curacao. Or I'm like you on paper Germany should beat that Curacao to like at least 5-0.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they might because Germany has done that before. So
Yeah.
so it's like, but the problem is like, you know,
Yeah.
will it? I think it's just I think we won't know who is the real, showstoppers until the world around 32 when they actually had to face do or die games.
Fair. Fair. I
So
think
I got no one at this point.
I think Japan is still winning it all.
Oh, who?
I think Japan is still winning it all.
It's really interesting, but they got no Kubo. Kubo's out.
That's fine.
He's my boy, Kubo.
Hell yeah.
But I feel like if I had to place money, I'll say Portugal. I'll say Portugal.
I can,
Not because of Ronaldo, just because his I think they have the most best overall squad and players that are not injured. And
I
so
could not place money, but I will put my metaphorical money on Portugal.
yeah, I feel like if this is the year, and I feel like sad to say, I feel like the reason they might not go the way is because of Roberto Martinez
Mm-hmm.
stubbornness and maybe lack of COJ
Huh?
cojones
Oh,
of
oh, J. Oh, okay, yeah, you're
okay,
right.
yeah, of cojones to drop Ronaldo on
He'll
crucial moments.
drop Ronaldo.
Yeah, I feel like Ronaldo is great, but I don't feel like he can't play all 90 minutes in high intensity games like he did before. Yeah, I
Yeah,
feel like that.
you never
I think
know.
yeah, but we will know. We will know. We will see. We will
Yeah,
see all this in next week. Next week, here
we'll
it comes.
see that.
So let's go. So we'll see. Thank you all once again. Thank you all for coming in, and we'll see you all July.
See
Take
you
care.
July.